just getting ready to remove the bed from my pickup. There's 4 bolts on each side that hold it on. There's one lined on the floor here. They're mostly pretty easy to access. I'm just going to show you where each one is. So here's one up front. There's another one here just beside the fuel filler neck. Third one just behind the wheel well opening. And the last one here is right near the end. It's probably the hardest to reach, but it's not that terribly difficult to access either. There are 2 more bolts just here above this small bracket, and they're a smaller size. I think they hold something on with the fuel tank. You have to remove them as well. They're located, I'm just showing another view here, just above the fuel tank, but you can't really access it because it's too narrow in here. You have to reach around from the bottom using a ratcheting wrench to undo them. You can see that I've removed it here, and I've lifted the box up a couple inches just to show you where the spot is. This is only on the gas tank side, by the way. You can see how I've hooked things up to my engine crane to lift up the box. These aren't like special lifting devices or anything. These are just cable locks that I've then connected in the middle with a ratchet strap and then tied that to my crane. I forgot to mention while I was underneath the truck earlier that you have to disconnect your fuel filler pipe and the vent hoses. My hose clamps were all rusted shut, so I just cut them off with some big pliers. But once you get those off and you have the 4 bolts on each side, plus those 2 smaller ones on the gas tank side, you can finally lift things up. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, and apparently forgot to videotape it, you also have to disconnect your tail lights. And then just when I thought I was done, I started to lift up the box, and then it was stuck on something. I realized there was yet one more fuel line at the very front. There's actually 2 different places you could disconnect it. I chose to do it right at the front, where it connects to the hard line that goes up to the front of the engine bay. That was a lot easier to reach, but you could also go up underneath here. Well, I got it. That was the last thing holding it on. It's just sitting on my crane now. And here's the top of the truck. Looks like I got a few things to clean up. See, I wanted that off so I could do things like work on the exhaust, fix up the driveline, change up these drums and stuff. The leaf springs, probably get new bushings in there. So basically I'm looking at everything. Figured I might as well just take the box off. Change those shocks too. Back of the cab looks pretty good. Well, I had the box off. I ended up stripping off everything from the back end. There'll be some more videos on those sections. And then I used a wire wheel and some flat discs to take the frame down to bare steel, and I painted it. Family of 3, but it barely suits me. Spending much money, she says it's not funny. Everything's new, watch out, it could happen to you. Courier,